Woo! We're back, and this is episode 54, I do believe now. 54. We got Ben Ross. What's up, dude?
Not much, dude. Another day, living the dream, one nightmare at a time. Making it happen, though. It's good, dude. It's Thursday. We're almost at Friday.
Exactly, Thursday, which is the perfect day to crack open a bottle of Zest vodka. That's right. The best flavored vodka. Just hands down, the best flavored vodka. This podcast is brought to you by Zest. So go ahead, crack open a bottle, and find out for yourself just exactly how delicious and superior this flavored vodka is.
That stuff sounds good, dude. I will say I've seen you put that as a promo in the video a few times, and I guess I'll have to try it.
Dude, yeah, they're like more in the southeast, so I'm pretty sure they're in your area, and it literally tastes like way too good. I'm like, this is alcoholic.
What's the percentage on it?
So the lime drop, this one's 20. This is a brand new flavor. Their other one, which is the lemon drop, that one has 30%, and this is a real life bottle. They gave me a huge bottle.
No way.
Good.
Careful, dude. It's Thursday.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly.
That's cool though, dude.
Dude, do we have the same computer chair?
Oh, we definitely do.
What?
This is my iPhone chair, dude. I've been running this baby for about probably about 3 years at this point, maybe longer.
I knew we were brothers from another chair.
Amen. That's good. Yeah, I mean, so I used to work from home all the time. Now I go to the office. So I got my office chair, which is still solid. But it's like my at-home office is super nice, and I feel bad pulling away from it because that puts a bunch of time and effort into this at-home office. And it's like, I've built this. It needs to stay this way. That way, when I do work from home, I'm living in paradise.
Amen, dude. It's so cool that working from home is like so much. It's like more legit now than it ever has been in the history of time.
Absolutely. We went through a massive phase during COVID.
Right.
Huge transition. No one really knew what was going on. So employers were just shoving people at home. That was amazing for me. That's basically what solidified me and my wife's now relationship, was being able to work from home and just be able to hang out with each other literally every day. Because she lived in North Carolina, I lived in Baltimore at the moment. So they pushed us home, and I literally just basically moved in with her.
Dude, wow. I didn't know you used to live in Baltimore. That city's kind of, I know every city's got their things going on, but Baltimore's pretty fucking shitty.
Yeah, dude, I was not a fan. I mean, I was basically up in the morning early, in the office, went home, repeat. Girlfriend at the time was down in Durham and Raleigh, and weekends she was either coming up or I was going down. So like I got a taste of it, but I was like, dude, I was so ingrained in work. That was it.
Okay, yeah, no, good for you on that. Yeah, just keeping to yourself, dude. So let's rewind it back at TT. All right, so I met Ben in Myrtle Beach. It was last year, and it was for the competition to win a slot to DJ at Dance Festopia in Kansas City, and I met you there that night, and it was a cool time, man. You just came up and like, I don't even know exactly what it was, but we immediately were just like bros. Like,
dude, I know. Well, because like I just moved down to Myrtle Beach, maybe a few months prior, I would say. And that to me was insane. I was like, there's a DJ competition? Like, you got to be kidding me. This is sick. So we went there. It wasn't like a super packed place. It was a bar, and like there was a nice little area for the DJ. And it was just like dudes throwing down some jams. And I was like, I can get with this for sure. And then figuring out slowly for Dance Festopia, which I think you ended up winning that competition.
Yeah, I won. Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
Pretty cool.
No, but, I mean, and I will say I can be a critic in a good way. You for sure had the best, 30-ish minute set, I think.
Thanks, dude.
And I'm not trying to toot your own horn. That's straight honesty. Had the best set. You deserve to win. Now, was there like a next stage? That's the end of my story right there. That's what happened. And then I didn't know what happened after that.
Yeah, the next stage was flying out to Kansas City and DJing at Dance Festopia. That was the next stage. And it was really cool because, not only did I do it, but yeah, basically we went out there with, I brought my girlfriend, I brought Stuart and
I know Stu, yeah.
Yeah, Stuart and Ethan. Stuart from the DJ duo One Sense, and then Ethan, he is DJ Ecstasy, and that was such and then also a dude that I know from Charleston that won the Charleston location. Him and his girlfriend were out there too, so it was really like me going out there. I wasn't alone at all. I ended up having we ended up having a crew, and then one of my friends that used to live here in Charleston that moved out to Wichita drove in. It was like,
that's sick, dude.
Yeah,
what do they do ticket wise for that? Curiosity really kills the cat on me. Like, are they like, all right, like, did you have to buy your own airfare? Did you have to? Okay, presumably.
Yeah, I did. Yes. What the only thing they gave me was 2 tickets, and one of them was for me. And then so obviously I gave the other one to my lady, and then and then we just paid for everything else. She works in the hotel industry, so we got mad discounts on lodging, and that's
what worth it, dude. That's just an experience right there,
dude. Yeah, we all rented like a blacked out like Tahoe. It was such a good time. We rolled as a crew, all stayed in the same hotel, dude. It was dank.
That's cool, man. Well, this coming year, because I think we missed it. I was really considering doing it, and then it was like my boy's birthday. It was his 30th up in Raleigh the same weekend that I finally looked into it and was like, oh, it's back. Like, maybe I should try. And it was the same weekend, so I was like, I'm going to take it on the chin. I ended up going up there and just DJing his 30th birthday party the whole time, so it is what it is. But next year, you stay down in Charleston. You can win that one. Let me in Myrtle Beach. I'll win that one. We'll make a day of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I heard about it coming around this year, and I was like, I'm good. I was like, I'm not going to, I don't. It was fun to do. But I guess you should do it.
I will definitely do 100%. It. Next year, I'm doing it. I know for a fact.
One of my best friends won the Charleston one this year, and I was like, all right, like, I was like, first off, yeah, good for you. Like, him and I have got like a bunch of collab tracks out and shit. Like, him and I, we're very, very good friends, and he definitely deserved to win it here in Charleston. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool. Well, by the way, they're only going to pay for your tickets, and that's it. So,
dude, for me, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're Mr. Money out here with your successful business adventures.
I'm trying. I'm hustling out here. I've had my ups and down years for sure, but yeah, we're living comfortably out here. We bought a house down in Myrtle Beach, November 2022. So we've cohabitated down here for almost 2 years, and I like it down here. Look, I'm from the East Coast, up Northeast Coast, and making it down here was the move. I love it. I love the area. The wife loves the beach. Do we make it enough? Probably not. Partially on me.
What? Oh, come on. I mean, dude, you're a homeowner. Like, you work in real estate. You hooked yourself up with a house. You all are living a little dream. It looks like a lovely home.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Like, is this house that you're in right now the first house you purchased for yourself?
This is my first purchase. I waited a little bit. I had the money prior to that, but it was more just location oriented. Where we wanted to be, I was like, which maybe it would have made sense to buy a house like, even in Baltimore or in another place I was at when we were living in Raleigh. but it's like, it's an investment and you got to make the right decisions. And I was just like, we didn't want to catty corner ourselves into a spot for too long, because I feel like it makes sense to at least be in the spot for minimum a year, but ideally like a couple years if it's a decent spot.
Yeah. So when you were already in the industry because you're saying 2000, you said 2022?
2022, end of 2022 is when we moved down here to Myrtle Beach.
Right. So
I got into the mortgage business in June of 2019. So about a little over 5 years ago.
So I don't know if I'm saying this right, but did you like broker your own like deal or whatever, or like you know what you like?
So you can't. Essentially, you can't do your own deal. Like if you have a buddy, your buddy can do it for you, which makes the most sense. At the time, I didn't know anyone down here, so I just went with a builder, and they give stupid incentives. They usually have lower rates. They're my arch nemesis down here, and I live in one of their homes, which is ironic, because so these new builds. Okay, believe it or not, these new builds, because they pump them out so quick. So have you heard of like Lennar?
Is that a building company?
It's a building company.
I've heard of Greystar. Is that?
Greystar's one. So your big ones are your Lennars, your Ryan Homes, your DR Hortons. Now that I've told you that, you're going to see them. Okay?
Yeah, I recognize DR Horton, the other ones, but go on.
So because they build these homes so quick, and they're decent quality, they are not the best quality. I will for sure say that. We got pretty lucky. We haven't had any issues, but they build them so quickly, not with the most expensive material, puts them in the ability to basically give really good financing, closing cost incentives, stuff like that. So I just went with the easy route. I was like, you know what, we'll take the extra $5,000-$6,000 in closing cost incentives. We'll use the lender that the builder's using and get it done. In an ideal world, yeah, I would have used a buddy down here to then broker the deal for me. And, at least he got paid on it. But you can't do your own. I don't know why. Conflict of interest, not sure. Haven't read into it.
Well, it seems kind of like, now that you mention it like that, it seems like that's proper. Like because all of a sudden, if you're like you're doing it yourself, that just seems like you can like be just, I don't even know. Like it's almost like
something fishy, essentially. Like, so if I'm doing my and my income hypothetically didn't qualify, maybe I could fudge the numbers or something like that. Push it through underwriting, which an underwriter that would be the one that I'd pass it through should be able to catch that stuff. But that's where the conflict of interest comes in.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like, terrible analogy, but like somebody who cuts hair, like you just can't really cut your own hair. Like,
yeah, exactly. That is a bad analogy, but that'll work.
Yeah, it's a bad analogy, but so yeah, dude, because you hit me up the other day and we were talking because your lady is interested in getting into music production via Ableton, which a lot of us music producers love and adore. But it is sort of intimidating program to get into and very confusing, and there's still like, dude, like no matter who you are, there's things that you will still be learning about Ableton no matter how long you've been working with Ableton. It's just the way that it's designed is just, it's so open to being able to really play with it. Like the more that you know about it, it's like the more that you realize how much it can be utilized, and it's very hard to describe exactly how, like, the
Ableton is your oyster.
You're able to do anything with Ableton, literally.
Well, the Mac Miller song, and this is kind of what, like, I think originally put me onto it, and I think I had to look it up. I'm like, what's he talking about? I forget which Mac song it was, but he says in it, easier than Ableton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll have to fact check that. I'm fairly certain I'll have to go back. But yeah, he said that, and then I looked it up, I was like, okay. And then I had a buddy, I think he lives up in DC at this point, but he uses Ableton. That's his production software. But you're right, it looks complex. It is intimidating. She's done better progress than I would have even thought just by some YouTube videos and just kind of messing around with it. I'm like, Like I like spinning on the decks. Like I don't know. I really want to mess with it, but I really like spinning on the decks.
Exactly. Me too, dude. And then so then that conversation kind of segued into real estate things, you know, because obviously you are a young gentleman that's working in the real estate industry as a loan officer.
Correct.
Which seems to be a pretty darn legitimate job. And yeah, like I hadn't really known much about any of that stuff like at all, even though my mom has been kind of in real estate. I'm sort of a bubble boy. But the drummer of my band, he recently bought a house for the first time, and it's like a brand newly constructed house, and he was going through like the whole underwriting process while we were on tour this past month. And I mean, like the fact that you can get underwriting done on a cell phone is crazy.
I know.
He was literally, he was going through like 200 pages of digital documents to like initial off. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, it's necessary because I've done them both. Ideally, I only want to do electronic documents, but you will get your older clientele that are tough sons of guns, and they're like, I want a piece of paper. Like, dude, did you know what I'm sending you, right? It's going to be about 100 pages, and you guys are going to have to sign 40 times just to get the process started. Not even considering the other stuff we're going to send out, the documents we're going to request from you, the documents you're going to sign before closing, the documents you're going to sign at closing. Like, you guys are so old. I don't even think you can signature that many times. Let's figure out how to get it done.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, you're like, it would be environmentally irresponsible of you to make us
about the 100. I've definitely pulled that line before. Actually, if people tell me like I want papers, I go, listen, I'm gonna have to cut down 2 trees to send this out to you in the mail. So we can cut down 2 trees, or I can send it to your email. What are your thoughts? Sometimes it works. Sometimes we're like, nah, I still want paper docs. Like, I'll get it to you.
Well, that's going to come out of their tax.
Yeah, exactly. No, it'll come out of our tax.
Oh my God.
No, but yeah, dude, the mortgage business, that's basically what I'm on. It is the best career I could pick because I genuinely love it. I'm passionate about it. Going to work. I've definitely had days, probably in the start of my career, where like work was monotonous. I didn't really want to do it, but I pivoted because I used to be in these call centers. So call centers are basically you pick up the phone, you book the deal. In an undeal world, I'm very good at what I do, so I was able to do that. You don't talk to the bar much. You get some documents, deal's done, and then you're still paid by a big corporate employer. I just saw myself like, dude, I can't be waking up this early. Not that I can't wake up early, but I don't really like to. But I can't do it just to hop on and get in front of a computer and have to take someone else's leads. So then when I moved down here to Myrtle Beach, I was like, I'm going to just roll the dice, dude. I'm going to try it on my own. I'm going to generate all my own leads, work my network. It's a little more strenuous. You got to be involved throughout the whole process, but the compensation pays out. But I also don't get a base salary. Like all my boys love the call centers and going back to call centers because they give you a base salary. It's like, I got no base salary. I'm straight commission.
Yeah. So then, dude, that sounds pretty tough. Like, obviously, no matter like what the business would be, like building your own business is not for the faint of heart. Let's face it. And so, what was that like for you? Did you just basically, describe it for us? Because what I wonder is like, okay, word. So you can just describe it as simple as like, yeah, I was working up in Baltimore and then I just moved down here and bought a house. Yeah, you're skating over a whole bunch of details. Like, how much did you need to save up before you even like thought about being financially secure enough to be able to take the risk of starting your own business? Not only are you trying to start your own business, but you're moving in the process as well, buying a house as well, and
Getting
going through the growth period of trying to see if your business fails or not.
Yeah.
Unpack that for me, dude, because that's a shit ton.
Okay. How much time we got? I'm just kidding.
I know, right? All day.
So yeah, I mean, so I used to wearing it right here. So I used to work for the Hershey company. I was a sales rep for them. That was my first job out of college. And my boy just kept nagging at me, dude, you got to come down, like, come join this company. We're doing mortgages. Like, you'll like it. You'll do good. I was like, no, not doing it. Eventually, I talked me into it. Ended up moving down to Baltimore to the call center, like I was describing. Did pretty well. You know, it's basically, again, you're just picking up calls, trying to at the same time, you're trying to figure out the mortgage business. So they get you licensed. Getting licensed, because you do have to be licensed to be a mortgage loan officer, not super challenging. It was like 3 weeks of, studying pretty hard, and then you take the test. You got to get above 75. That easy enough. Struggled a bit at the beginning because I just was drinking through a fire hose, man, just picking up the call, trying to do business without really knowing how the business worked. Like, I could sell, but I couldn't close. So I'm like missing the most important part. It's great to be able to sell. If you can't close a deal, you don't get paid. You're not useful. I ended up making, like, interest rates changed. If anyone is familiar with like how the interest rate market went, basically right when COVID started, interest rates sunk to the lowest they've been in like 50 years.
Like from where to where percent?
So we were at like 5. We were probably at about 5%, 5.5%, and then interest rates got as low as like 2.25%. Which is drastic. It may not sound like a lot, but that is huge.
Yeah, I don't know how to quantify that, but I do hear the numerical values. And yeah, because Deslin mentioned, he was like something about like he got, I think, locked in for 4%.
That's fucking insane. That's
yeah,
right now.
I don't know. Yeah, and he's just basically like kind of trying to warn me. Not really like warn, that might be the wrong connotation, but
he's just giving you advice and letting you know kind of what his experience was, I presume.
Yeah, because he's like, I got locked in at 4%, but everything's just gonna, inflate. Basically, I mean, that's kind of how it always goes.
I'm wondering he probably, and this is going to get granular. My thought is he probably got into like what's called a 3-in-1 buy down, which is very, very common with builders, where they'll buy down your interest rate. Say par rate is a 7%, they'll buy it down 3% to a 4% after which makes your mortgage payment feel like it's a 4%. And then after the first year, it goes to a 5%, which makes your mortgage payment feel like a 5%. After the second year, it goes to a 6%, which makes it feel like a 6. And then after that, you're back to a flat 7. So that would be my thought. I could be wrong, but that's kind of where they get some of these buyers. Not that he got at all. I'm sure the builder paid for all of it, so it's worth it. But where I guess I'm alluding to is the interest rates down at a 2.25. Dude, it was like shooting fish in a barrel. If you couldn't sell it, you shouldn't be in a sales position. I was running a team of 17 loan officers.
Wow.
And this was after a year and a half in the business. I'm running a team of 17 loan officers, closing 150 to 200 loans a month between myself and my team. Then I switched to another company because I was like, I'm done running a team. They wanted me to be the top loan officer on the team, hire, fire, train, and run pipeline. I was like, dude, I'm getting exhausted.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Switched over because part of the reason I switched over, my old company wanted me back in the office. This new company is like, dude, we'll hire you on. All you got to do is book loans and we'll let you go fully remote. And at that point, me and my girlfriend had been dating for like 2 years. So I was like, fuck it, I'm moving to Raleigh. I'll work for you guys. I ended up closing, just at that company, in 2 years, I closed like $200 million in volume.
Bro.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it is a call center, so keep that in mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to know what that looks like.
Quantify the difference, yeah.
Yeah, I get what a call center would look like generally, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, so like the way, did you just like Vale, like that you moved to Raleigh first before moving to Myrtle Beach?
Yeah. So I went.
So, okay, because this is what I'm trying to still put together. It's you in you moved first off to Baltimore, but I thought you were born and raised in Baltimore. So where did you move from? Where did you move from to go to Baltimore?
So born and raised in Pennsylvania, Eastern PA.
That's why Hershey's.
Correct. So, and then I wrestled at the University of Pittsburgh in college. So, wrestled in college, got a job at the Hershey Company. They put me in bumfuck New Hampshire, and I moved up there. And I'm a social guy. I was like, oh, this is not it, dude. I lasted like 8 months. I snowboarded a lot. This was actually when I first started DJing. My brother bought me like a little DDJ RB or something like that. My first little thing. So I was like trying to figure out, all I'm doing is mashing potatoes together, trying to figure out like what drops work, drop switching.
That's funny.
Didn't last. Then that's how I got to Baltimore. So New Hampshire, Baltimore. And this is all by myself. Like I'm moving around. I got family, but they're all in where I grew up in Pennsylvania.
It's crazy.
Baltimore, North Carolina, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach, present day.
So you were renting in Raleigh.
Correct.
And then, so how long were you in Raleigh before you moved to Myrtle Beach?
Probably 2 years.
2 years. How much, you don't really have to say like a lot because financial information is,
I'm an open book though.
It's pretty private, but like what was that like for you to feel secure enough to make that move and not only like quit that job, but start your own business and in an area of which you haven't lived before? That's honestly like, I'm real time finding out all this stuff about you, and I'm like, that's really difficult, dude. It sounds difficult is what I'm trying to say.
So, I mean, I did a pretty good job. I still spent money. We like to travel. We like to do stuff. I spend stuff on this thing. I spent fucking $3,000 on a fucking signed Grizz saxophone.
Shit, that's what that is?
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? Is that like Harry Potter's like wand in a...
No, that is Grizz's signed sax. He's the boy, you know that.
Bro, that thing's going to be worth a bajillion one day.
That's the investment. Made sure I put money into investments, stuff like that. Also made a couple bad investments. I'm not going to say I'm the sharpest tool in the shed. We all make mistakes. I would say, and you don't need to, but before I was close to, I definitely had over 6 figures in the bank.
What?
When I was looking to get a house.
Bruh. Yo, you might be like the only dude I know that's like in their 20s that has had over 6 figures in their account.
It was a grind though. It was a grind. And again, it was like right time, right place. You know, like got into the business right before it snapped off. And I worked my fucking butt off, dude. I was probably putting in 70 to 80 hours a week. Because again, it didn't feel like work to me. And the only thing I wanted to do was go see my wife or my girlfriend. So it's like, all right, well, if I'm in Baltimore, I don't want to be freaking slooping around the streets, dude, get beat up. I'm going to stay in the office, get in early, leave late. Like, it just made sense. By the time I went to buy a house, definitely didn't have that much because the economy flip-flopped. I'm sure you've seen it, felt it. The economy flip-flopped, dude. You'll run through your cash quick. And yeah, I mean, just found a good opportunity. I was like, dude, let's do it. We want a house. It's at a good price and let's do it. Cause I want to put part of like what I really love is helping people put a stake in America, dude. Owning a piece of property in America, it's a fucking sick thing, dude. It's a great investment and it's sick, dude.
Yeah, no, and so like, so right. And I actually really admire like your success because I wasn't quite aware before. And obviously I don't calibrate my friends according to
wealth.
Yeah, wealth. But you should be very proud of yourself. And it's one of those things because I was curious, like, how much does one need to
Have not nearly that
but
much.
no,
Let me
I
see that.
know. There's a difference. Yes. I'm gonna catch myself on that one. But yeah, because it's like, dude, for a guy like me, I'll be an open book as well. You know, it's tough for an aspiring DJ music producer to really generate a lot of income in the beginning stages. And
Sure.
so, you know, here I am, I just turned 35. I've never had more than 10K in the bank ever, like at one given point in time. You see what I'm saying? I'm still fine. But this is where this is where this conversation can start to become interesting, is what we're leading up to is basically the fact that I was trying to tell you on the phone earlier when we spoke before this podcast began that my mom has been involved with the real estate industry throughout her life, and she's becoming involved again at a slightly different angle, and that she was trying to encourage me to basically like go pretty much into business like with her on these things. And like, so literally, and I'm not a stupid person. I am smart. I will be able to wrap my mind around these things eventually, but I get that there's just with every industry, there's a lot to digest and understand before one simply goes about doing their business. So I want big boy money, and that's a potential realistic way for me to be able to start earning a big boy amount of money to be able to facilitate a better quality of life.
Well, 100%, dude, because honestly, the real estate business is a sick way to, how do I say this? It is a sick way that people can do as like a part-time job side gig. Are you going to be the killers that are, throwing up 7 figures? Probably not, but I don't think that's what you're pushing for. I think you'd be pushing for like, dude, I would love to roll an extra 20, 30, 40 G's in a year just by getting involved and itemizing a little bit of my time into this. And again, you're going to have to invest a little bit more time in the beginning. Like you said, there's that rev up, there's that learning curve, figuring it out. But then it's just like using your network and putting people, hypothetically speaking, into a home, and they're happy, you make some money, and you get to go home and make music at the end of the day. It's all about having open opportunities for income generation. It doesn't mean you have to go head on into it. Like me, I'm very head on in the mortgage business because I'm passionate. But then like when I'm not, like if it's Friday, this is part of the reason that I love doing this side of the business that I'm currently in. It's because like tomorrow, if I want, like I can just fucking kick it at home, have my laptop sit next to me, my phone, and just DJ the whole day long, and then pause the music, rip a couple calls, call some clients, book a deal, back to the board. Like that's what I love about it.
That's so cool. Let's put a pin in that idea for just like 1 minute while I use the restroom. Yeah, I'm going to use the restroom really quick, and I'll be right back. All right.
Take your time, brother. Trust me, I'm no rush.
Be right back.
I'll grab my cat. I'll be back.
Oh yeah, dude, cats are good.
So we got 3 Bengal cats here.
Let's see them. Cats are trending on podcasts right now.
Are they really?
I just made that up.
Here we go. This is the pride and joy. This is Grizz.
Whoa, that's Grizz?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
dang, what? It looks like a leopard.
Yeah, dude, he's a Bengal. We got a white version of him, Slater, after AC Slater.
What? Where? A white one?
Yeah. Bring Slater in here.
Yeah, bring Slater in. Oh.
I'll get him. Here he is.
Slater wants the treats.
Yeah, they always do.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
The Bengals, like, they're nice, but they really don't like being picked up.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Catch them after a nap.
They seem like they would be kind of in like, so it's like if like a Bengal cat is like a Bengal cat and not just like a regular cat. It's almost like how Mancoons are kind of like in their separate sect of like cat breeds. Is it the same with Bengals?
So Bengals are like a hybrid between an African leopard cat, Asian leopard cat. Thank you, Asian leopard cat, and then they just domesticated it with regular cats.
Oh my God, that's wild.
They are fucking wild, dude. They really are. They're a handful, and you're supposed to feed them raw food. So that shit adds up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh dang, it's
They
like
the
that.
Yeah. Do we treat it to them all the time? No, you're still a damn cat.
What's this dry food bullshit you're feeding me?
You're right.
Oh
No, but it's been good. So what were you talking about? I forget.
So we put a pin in it around basically the fact of working for yourself. Okay, and like, yes. Yeah, being able to earn an income that creates like a higher quality of life because you're doing a big boy job. And that's crazy because you're I don't even know how old you are. May I ask?
28.
28. That's really good, dude.
Thank you, brother.
Holy crap.
29 in a few months. We'll say that.
Okay. 28 and 3/4.
And that's I guess what I was alluding to. So when I moved to Myrtle Beach, so you'd ask me like, how much do you have to have saved up to kind of take the leap of faith or roll the dice on going out and doing it on your own? Hard to say. I would like to say maybe I didn't even have enough because I had, again, like buying a house, just a bunch of other expenses. They hide, and then you're paying. Then we decide, like, we were engaged, paying for the wedding. We got married like 3 months ago. That adds up. So like, and at the time, I knew I had enough to float me, but I didn't realize how long it was going to take me to start generating the business that I needed to generate to have the same, be on pace for at least coming into the income levels that I was used to. You start making the money you're making, you spend like you're making that money. You stop making the money you make, you still spend like you have that money. That is the double-edged sword of it. That's at least from my personal experience, is like the spending habits really haven't gotten cut down as much as it has with an income differential. So we have to be smart with that. And you got to limit yourself and change habits and say no to stuff. And that's the hard part. Boys want to go to a concert or vacation. Sometimes you have to say no. And it hurts because I love doing that stuff. So I think it was just kind of creating habit, getting into the right, because like I started my own, and then I went to a company in a sense where they give me the firepower, but I still brand as Ben. Me and my boss partner, we launched this brand called Legendary Mortgage about 9 months ago, and it's blown up and we're doing good, but it took a lot of down months. And again, when you have your high highs, your low lows are that much lower. You're like, this sucks. This hurts. I'm not used to running a month with $0 going into the bank account. And that's the reality of it. That's the reality of going out on your own, is like,
it is.
You might not have the income.
It is one of those things. I went through something like very vaguely like similar when I took my leap of faith, but right. it doesn't quite compare.
Doesn't have to.
Yeah, no, but at the same rate. So it's crazy because I still have so many questions about the startup. Like, how does one simply just move to a new city and just make their presence known? Like, oh, now I'm the new mortgage loan officer around these.
That was tricky.
Yeah, where people are like, that have been there for a while, they're like, we don't take kindly to people that just move in around here and try to take our business.
It's the good old boys club down here too. It's tight. And part of it, so like when I went out on my own, I called pretty much every single person in my phone. I would wait till like 6 o'clock at night, because I knew that's when people were most likely to pick up the phone. And I would call them friends, people I haven't talked to in years, and I would just catch up with them. And then I'd sling them with like, yeah, like part of the reason I'm calling, like I'm doing my own thing in the mortgage business. So like if you're ever buying a house, or do you have a house? Like if you're ever looking to refinance, like I'd love to get a swing at the plate. You know, I'll take care of you. You know, I'll make sure you're in the best spot, whether it's with me or with someone else. I'll be the first person to tell you. Like if someone's beating me by a freaking fistful, I'm going to tell you, because I'm not greedy like that. I would prefer you be in a better spot than for me to make a buck off of a deal and put you in a worse spot monthly, hypothetically speaking.
So you're kind of like trying to let people know that what the value that you would bring to the table is that you have a little bit more care and consideration, like fine-tuned, than say just any old corporate big old entity that is just looking out for their butt, and they could put you in any place. Well, they don't care.
100%. I literally couldn't say it better. It's the corporate compared to the small model, and the small model feels better. The clients know that, but we don't always get the swings at the plate because those corporate have stupid marketing budgets to get in front of us or get in front of clients before we can.
That's rough.
Yeah, it is. Like, so here's a good example. So there were some clients moving from New Hampshire, believe it or not. I didn't know them from up there, but I'd gotten put in contact with them just from working my network, and they had 2 mortgage lates on their credit report on their current mortgage, which is like a no-no. That's like, you have a mortgage late, you probably can't purchase or refinance a home for a year minimum, and that's if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, go on.
So, and I like asked them the story and broke it down and like was like, what happened here? And like, no, like we paid that. I don't know why they're saying that. So I got on the phone, and it took us like a month and a half, 2 months of like us getting on phone calls with their current company and arguing with them, and me sticking up for them. Be like, no, like I have the documents here. I see they paid. You guys marked them wrong. You need to go to the credit bureaus and get that taken off, because they're trying to buy a house and you're not letting them buy a house right now. To remove the lates, they just closed about 3 weeks ago down here in Myrtle Beach.
Why did they put lates on their tab to begin with?
Big mortgage companies can be schemy like that, man. It's another number, so like they don't care, dude. They think like
incentive? By putting a false late on their bill, is that putting more money in their pocket through like interest or whatever?
I think it's like, and it could have been a miscombobulation. One of the things in the mortgage business is like, so usually if I close a deal, my clients' loans are getting sold to another company. Like that 99% of the time that's happening. So I close it for them. We fund the loan, my company, and then a big company, the big corporate companies that service, so they hold the loans for the interest and they collect the payments. They buy the loans from us. We get a cut. They get the loan, the interest. My thought is, so when you have that many people and you have these big loan servicing companies, again, it's another number. It could have been an oversight. It could have been a lapse in transition, payments going to the wrong spot when they made the payments. And it's like that stuff. Yeah, there's probably 10,000 people right now that are in similar situations that got a late on their mortgage when it wasn't late, and they can't fight it or won't fight it or don't know how to fight it. And like, it's a reality, and it's not a fault. It is at fault, but it's not. I don't think the big companies are doing it on purpose, but they're also not going to work to resolve it. Like, they see someone late, they mark them late. On to the next file.
Yeah, mistakes happen.
I know.
You know, people aren't perfect. That's interesting, man. Yeah, I'm going through some funky litigation with I got rear-ended last March, and it ended up totaling my car. But the person that hit me, first off, I'd never been in like a serious accident before. I didn't know exactly how to navigate those waters. Long story short, I called their insurance company and filed the claim with them, and then turns out that they had the lowest tier of coverage, and that didn't meet the value of my car. So now this is over a year ago now, and I've been trying to, dude, it's absolutely ridiculous. They're trying to pin this on me now personally, the thousands and thousands of dollars that are the difference between the value of my car and the top portion of their insurance coverage. Yeah, they only had $25,000. My car was more expensive than that by a lot, and therefore I'm now being they're trying to ask, they're very actively trying to pin that fund on me personally when I got rear-ended.
That stuff still to this day blows my mind. I don't understand it, and it can be as terrible as you got rear-ended. Imagine that person didn't even have insurance, dude.
Okay, well then, yeah, even imagine that. Like, dude, what the fuck's going on out here? And then nobody gives a shit on those companies that I'm the one being screwed over when it's not my fucking fault to begin with. And then all of a sudden now it's just all in the fucking fine print. And oh, word, like, yeah, now, dude, it's fucking insane.
I'm sure that's frustrating as hell.
I'm lawyered up. Everything's gotten so complicated. There's a reason why this case.
Luckily, you are.
Luckily,
because some people just like don't even have the time or extra cash to even be like, call a lawyer, be like, can you help me out? And you still might not even get anywhere. Dude, I know the insurance industry is
what the fuck, dude? What if I was literally injured to the degree of incapacitation and I only have $25,000 to work with from their fucking insurance? Bro, that's not the way.
I know. I don't understand. To me, that seems fishy. Insurance in my eyes, and I hope my boy Evan doesn't watch this. Evan, Tyler, I love you, but insurance is a fucking scam.
Yeah, this is nothing against y'all, but fuck y'all. No, I'm just kidding.
Insurance is just like, I mean, it's a necessary evil. But some people will go without that necessary evil, which is illegal. You can't drive without.
Yeah.
But people still do it all the time. It's actually, Myrtle Beach is like super high with people uninsured driving.
Fuck,
I know, which is like just dangerous. It's like with one quick decision, like you went from having a great day to you're $15,000 in the hole because your car's worth 40 and they're only going to pay 25. And you're like, I just lost 15 G's in the car I loved because someone, and again, can you put it at fault for the person because they were just trying to sign up for the lowest coverage possible because they're just trying to make their money work and their bills work. So like, who do we get mad at here? I have this internal battle with myself, honestly.
Who do we get mad at? Insurance companies and the whole system, because it's so like just inherently like screwy and like all that stuff where it's like, yeah, no. I was watching a podcast today between Theo Vaughn and Bernie Sanders. Theo Vaughn also had on Donald Trump recently as well. Both very interesting podcasts to watch. But him talking about, oh fuck, where was I going with this? Him talking to Bernie Sanders about like, oh crap, hold on, I lost it. No. It's like,
bring it back.
It's like,
now I know
how everything is so inherently screwed up, man. Like, oh, it was health insurance. Okay, that's where I'm. All right, boom,
great
back
point.
on track.
Another great scheming system.
Health insurance. So Bernie Sanders' point was that America is like the only like big time country that doesn't have like included healthcare, and that when you go up to Canada and you're a born and raised Canadian person, blah, 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 you get into an incident that makes you need to go to the hospital, you're walking out with a $0 hospital bill. And it's not the same here. It's a very inherent issue. We could apply that somehow with human beings' cunning thoughts and ways to work around things and devise things that the car insurance whole thing about car insurance could just be a little bit more sensible Yeah.
So here's devil's advocate on the national health insurance. I forget the exact word, but national medical coverage that is just citizen born given. Okay. So here's the devil's advocate, because I've had these conversations with my friends and stuff like this. The only problem with that, so if you look at the countries that do have this set in health coverage for their citizens, one, you break your arm, dude, you might have to wait 5-6 weeks to get a cast put on your arm. Okay. Two.
No. How? What? Hold on.
You go first.
You can. It's so easy to say that, and I've heard that before. I don't know to what degree I believe that, because if you compound fracture your arm into a right angle,
sure.
You're going to go to the hospital and you're going to go to the ER and they're going to put a cast on you. It's not going to take 5 months.
How about we talk? Okay. Okay. You're right. Maybe bad example. How about this? How about we do something as simple as like an ACL tear? Okay. Something that you're a laborer, you tear your ACL. It's not necessarily a needed surgery, because you can still work, you can still walk, it may hurt, but you will have to wait longer. Two, we have the best doctors in the United States. People from all around the world come here because we pay the highest. Those other countries can't necessarily pay the highest wages to these doctors, so then the competition and the level of the doctors also drop. So I can see it both ways. It's just that I haven't been able for my head to comprehend a straight across the board, the government pays for healthcare.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if it was that simple, I have a feeling this would be solved a long time ago. But no, and then now things are moving to the point where people are actually flying out of this country to get surgeries and things done. Now people are literally going to a whole nother fucking country.
I would want to see what the common out of country surgeries these people are doing. I have heard that. I have heard that. I would like to see kind of what the statistics are that people are vacating the US though.
Yeah, probably mostly electives, but still other things as well. And you know, we certainly are not medical professionals and can't really speak on that.
No.
But we may speculate, and
we do have our opinion, and that to me is important, because that's the one thing that we've been stronger here in the US. But like, if you've been seeing what's going on in the UK, some crazy stuff, man. People literally just getting thrown in jail for posting a meme.
What?
Dude,
I haven't heard anything about this.
I'll send you some videos. So basically, there's a big, because of the migrant crisis, a lot of same as kind of what's happening in the US and what's happened in Europe. A lot of migrants have been flowing into the European cities, and you know, they're getting a lot of benefits and whatnot, and there's a lot of kind of like chaos and damage and people getting hurt by them, and people are getting a little fed up by it. And I kid you not, dude, I will send you a couple videos. They're literally doing court hearings, and one legitimately says, you're going to jail for 23 months because you posted this X, Y, and Z comment on Facebook.
Like what kind of stuff?
The stuff like, I don't want my money to go towards these migrants because that are destroying our country. Like stuff that we could say like right here. And again, you might not agree with it, but at the end of the day, it is vocal, it's free of speech, or it's written, it's free of speech. These people are going to jail, dude. Look into that, dude. It's crazy.
Bro, that's literally the first I've heard of this. It is crazy. And I thought there was free speech in England.
I thought so too. I thought so too, because we're like a segue descendant of England.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now we wrote our constitution, so we're probably fundamentally different, but we're still pretty similar. And I've never seen it like this. But yeah, dude, And that scares me in the US. And I don't think we'll ever get there. I think we'll still just hold our ground on that. But that is a slippery slope, dude. That's like saying you say something that I don't like, you're going to jail or you're getting in trouble. It happens in Canada too, dude.
Oh my God, dude. Think what is this world coming to, and what will it take for things to really get to a head, like to a certain tipping point, man? Because it's like there's so much, life has changed so much since even the age that I was born and raised in, and to think about how much things have changed, not only like infrastructure wise in this world, but also like within the minds of everybody, and how we're slowly kind of like becoming more aware about like what the standard of life should be for everybody. There shouldn't be such thing as like world hunger. There shouldn't be a such thing as like needing to solve world peace. There's these things that there shouldn't need to be such thing of, but it is. And we're like trying to get through that. Like, yeah, why can't we just make sure everybody has a freaking home? Why can't we make sure everybody isn't starving? Things like this would lead to a more thriving country overall, when people that are, say, like without a home, like literally the unhoused, most unfortunate people of this country, could very well have the capacity to they could be us. I get it. Certain unhoused people are like certain unhoused people, but they could literally be a CEO of an important, influential company in all due reality. If you put them up in a nice place and make sure everything, like people of our country aren't getting screwed over, then things might even be a little bit better. I get it. We're already the best country or whatever, but yeah.
And that's where the divide is coming from, dude. Truthfully, because we all really want the same thing. We just have different ways that we want to go about it. And being able to come up with our dialogue between both sides, if we're just going to cut it down the middle, right and left, we'll say. Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
Like, it's because our dialogue has gone from, a little bit of this where we're kind of like spitballing ideas and maybe we come with a decision, to this, dude, where it's like we're so freaking polarized that two people that could get along super well and maybe have similar ideas, that if they put their heads together could get to that world hunger ending idea, won't. And I think the biggest proponent of why that's happening is the media, dude. Social media, the mainstream media. That's why, when I watch news, I'm like, I can't watch this, dude. Like, I get fed my information primarily from YouTube because I like watching podcasts. I like watching real evidence of stuff happening. That's why X is like, I wasn't on it for a while. I just got back on X maybe like 3 months ago. That stuff shows you the realest shit in the world, dude. Like, stuff that will low-key kind of screw you up a little bit. You're like, God, is that happening? Here's a crazy example. And I'm sorry, because we're taking a turn here. We can switch it back in a second. But like, there's literally a video of like these guys in China that get caught fucking, and like they're getting beat out in the street because they stole kids and they found these freaking carts or these trucks, and there's kids in blocks of ice frozen that we're going to get taken to be organ harvest. And it's like the stuff they will never show us. It's the stuff you'll see on X, but it's the stuff they will never show us and the people that are so centered and just watch their TV will never see this stuff, but it's what happens around us. I know, sorry, I hate to get there, but like,
it's so true. Like, whether it be organ harvesting, sex trafficking, pedophilia, like, dude, like the jig is starting to get up.
It is, dude. And I feel like people are starting to wake up to that. I myself, like, coming like, oh my God, like, I'm seeing it. Like, you're seeing it. And like, you can't fake that video. Well, maybe you can. AI is insane. But like, I think this was really before the kind of kick of AI. Crazy, dude. Oh, yeah. I did want to ask you this question, and this will get us back on topic. And I know we can wrap this up whenever you're good. AI seems like it's starting to play a large impact, and I think you had a podcast about this recently, on music. So like I'm hearing songs that feel like they would have to have copyrights to be released, but they don't. Like songs with like mainstream lyrics in there that feel like it would be a remix, but it's not. And is it because they're throwing like a sample of like a vocal stem into AI and manipulating it and pulling it back out, and now it's fair game?
I don't know. And what you're saying is bringing up this thing that I recently heard about. Okay, so Young Gravy,
Yeah.
so he ended up releasing this song with like the "Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down," the Rick Astley, like Rick Astley.
Rick Aston, yeah.
Yeah, so basically the thing is that Young Gravy got this guy, I think he's from England actually or something, whatever, doesn't matter. He got this other guy to literally record that, and he sounds like Rick Astley, so much to the point that Rick Astley thought that it was actually his vocal and that he sued Young Gravy.
So is that fair game though? If you just re-record, or like you have someone else do the vocals and like they sound similar, like that's fair game?
I think so. Yeah, because I didn't look, I can't speak on it completely right now. I'll try to look up some stuff, but I'm assuming that Young Gravy was fine and that Rick Astley just made
an ass out of himself.
Yeah, dude, I was literally about to say.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather.
You know who else did that recently? Have you heard of the artist No Good? KNOW space GOD. Fucking good artist, dude. They're definitely starting to blow up on the bass scene. They released a song called Bodies. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit.
Yeah, but was it the actual sample?
No, it wasn't. It's Spotify, everything, because I subscribed to their Patreon account, and I went back and looked through how they made it, and yeah, they just had a buddy who sounds like the guy from is it Disturbed? Maybe, I don't know. And yeah, now the song's out, so it's basically just a bass flip of Bodies. I don't know if it's called Bodies.
Bodies, it is. It's Bodies. It's by Drowning Pool.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, it's like, yeah. Previously, this is the first thing that comes up on Google. Previously, January 26th, Rick Astley, whose 1987 worldwide hit "Never Gonna Give You Up" is an enduring cultural landmark. Yeah, he has sued rapper Young Gravy, but Astley's multi-million-dollar lawsuit claims that use of an imitation of his voice on the single "Betty" was not authorized, but they're trying to say that it wasn't authorized, but who won? Let's see.
So is that where it comes? You'd have to ask the artist to be like, hey, we don't need your actual sample. We just want to record someone else that sounds like you and basically take your lyrics and your sound.
And what people.com is saying is the battle between Rick Astley and Young Gravy is over on Tuesday, September 26th. 2023, according to court documents obtained by People magazine. The Never Gonna Give You Up singer 57, Rick Astley, and the meme rapper, I think it's funny that they say that, Young Gravy, settled the lawsuit filed by Astley in January against Gravy and his collaborators for an undisclosed sum. Which that's so ambiguous where I'm just like, what is this supposed to mean, dude? Like, yeah, like undisclosed sum. So can you or can you not get away with re-recording somebody's part with somebody that sounds similar to them and get away with using it?
That's the question of the day.
Dude, now you're really getting me on a whole nother ethical tip of AI and music and what can be, what's fair game and what's going to make me either get sued to the point where I'm broke or make me famous with an awesome song or whatever.
Right? My thought exactly, dude. My thought exactly. Because we all like a good remake, remix, flip, whatever you want to call it, and the ability to make, if you find someone to make a flip that you could only throw up on SoundCloud, on Spotify and Apple Music, could be the difference between stardom and not stardom.
Yeah, and guess what? I've gotten away with it.
Have you?
I will let everybody know. Yeah, dude, if you're not Rick, I mean, if you're not Young Gravy, dude, there's no way. Like, nobody cares that I'm releasing, dude, like, no, Spotify hasn't. I've never been flagged by anything. I will rip a vocal. My Barbie World remix, by Ice Spice. That one, I ripped the whole vocal and just released it as that. I didn't even pitch the vocal. I didn't change the BPM. It's the exact same vocal with a different instrumentation behind it, and I'm not getting sued. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
And there's a bunch of stuff. I've got a bunch of.
I know. I can only imagine. Matrix. I think he comes. That's exactly who first came to my head when I was like, "This is basically the same song. It's just a dub version, and it's on Sound or Spotify. Like, how is he getting away with this? It's like M8 Tricks, whatever. It's just like." It was elusive to me, and I was like, I mean, I like the jams. I'm not complaining, but how? And I guess, and my first thought went to, he's just not a big enough artist to really have it picked up or anyone to really care about. No offense, Matrix, but like, that was my first thought.
I mean, basically, dude, nobody's fucking with me. If my song had like 100 million views, yeah, I'd probably have somebody knocking on my door.
I know, dude. That's what we should figure out that answer.
Yeah, this is really bringing in like a whole nother part 2 to this podcast that we could expound upon. But dang, dude, I can't believe it's already been an hour and 8 minutes.
I literally client call in 6 minutes that I pushed back.
Wow, that's probably like the fastest a podcast has flown by for me in a while.
That's cool. Appreciate
is cool.
Yeah, man, I had fun. I'll definitely do this again. If you're trying to get to 100, just let me know. I'll come on whenever. This is fun for me. Oh, we didn't even mention it. Like, anyone that watches this, if you're looking to buy a house, let me know. I was just telling him, we forgot to cover it. Like, you don't need a stack of cash. Like, I was telling him, I probably closed a loan 3 months ago. These people maybe came out of pocket like, I don't know, $1,500 to $2,000. There's like down payment assistance programs. There's grants, like you name it. I can find a way. It's worth looking at because real estate's gonna keep going up. Rent is also gonna keep going up. So the worst thing that happens is I say, hey, not right now. Here's what you got to do, and you make it happen. It'll put you one step closer to holding a piece of steak in America.
I love it, dude. And we should, God, I can't believe we talked about so much, but there's still like, we
still miss stuff.
Yeah. We still just scratched the surface. Let's try to aim for a part 2 here pretty soon, actually. Because we didn't even really get to, I know that you love to DJ and stuff. I want to talk about all that stuff with you as well, more music oriented, but still real estate oriented too, because dude, it's just inextricably a part of everybody's life, and therefore that's how this is relevant. But amen, dude. Well, I can't thank you enough for being on for now, and let's definitely figure out a part 2 as soon as possible. And
I'm going to the Maldives in this coming Thursday. I'll be gone for a week, so we'll put it on the calendar sometime when I get back.
Amen. All right.
I'll also drop my mix I just dropped. I'll throw that your way if you want to throw it up with this. People feel free to give it a buzz. It's my best one yet. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, go ahead, plug your SoundCloud and any other socials for our listeners.
I think it's just I think it's just Refi. Just type in Refi, REFI on SoundCloud. And then if you're looking on Instagram, Ross Ready Home Loans.
Exactly. So on Instagram, find him, Ross Ready Home Loans, RossReadyHomeLoans, and SoundCloud with REFI.
Yeah. Just look at quick little fuck me up. It'll be the first thing there. That's the name of the mix.
Amen. Well, I do value your time, and I will let you get back to your work life. And dude, yeah, man, thank you so much.
Right back at you. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Oh, follow up with me on getting on a 3-way call with your mom. Let's do some business. Let's get you a side hustle.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
For sure, homie. Have a great one.
The Pursuit of Sound podcast is proudly brought to you in part by our sponsor, Zest Vodka. Zest is designed for people like us who love to have a good time, but without that terrible morning after regret. Okay? Zest started with an idea to make a healthier shot option. The market's flooded with high alcohol, sugar heavy products. Let's face it, promoting a culture of excessive drinking. But Zest knows we want a more genuine, transparent, and healthier choice without sacrificing taste or experience. So after Zest studied consumer preferences and existing brands, they dug deep into better ingredients. So Zest boasts proudly half the alcohol content, but don't get us wrong, significantly less sugar and 0 artificial additives commonly found in traditional shot brands. All right, crafting Zest Vodka was not about introducing just another shot brand. It's more about sculpting an experience. You know, an indulgence-free drink that upholds the pinnacle of taste and quality. They stand to revolutionize the shot market, guiding it towards a brighter, healthier, and more transparent future. Yes, Zest Vodka. So please join us poolside, surrounded by friends, and enjoy Zest Vodka, crafted for everyone seeking a healthier choice. Drink responsibly.